Corner Hospital and Health Services, and Gibson Ace Hardware, all in Clinton. And Macon County Farm Bureau, where membership means value. The State Bank of Benin in Bement and Monticello. And Maroa Ag in Maroa, your growing partner every step of the way. Read all the results from judging at the DeWitt 4-H and Farmer City Junior Fairs by clicking the fair results icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Got a minute? Great, because 1 minute is all it takes to protect your yield from pests next season. The 1 minute quiz from Bear Traits asks simple questions to see if you've got the right traits or need changes for next year. So what are you waiting for? Time's ticking. Visit traits.bear.com/quiz to get started and trait your fields right. Read and follow pesticide label directions, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices.
Now you can listen to WHOW on any Amazon Alexa-enabled device. There are 3 easy steps. Step 1.
Download the free Alexa app by going to the App Store on your mobile device.
Step 2. Enable our skill by going to the menu, select Skills, then find WHOW, open the skill.
Step 3. Activate the skill by saying, Alexa, play WHOW radio.
That's all there is to it.
And to stop the WHOW stream, just say, Alexa, stop.
WHOW, now on the Amazon Alexa app.
SIU Family Medicine wants the best help for you and your family. Be a champion. Protect your loved ones. The SIU Center for Family Medicine of Lincoln is accepting new patients. Click their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com to schedule your appointment.
Hi, I'm Brett with Central Cremation Center. We're proudly offering pet cremation services to help keep your faithful companion close to you. Learn more about our pet services by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
WHOW is Central Illinois' ag station, and that includes providing farmers information on how the commodity markets close each day and week. I'm Todd Gleason from Illinois Public Media, University of Illinois Extension, inviting you to hear the daily closing market report weekday afternoons at 5:06, and on Saturdays, tune in for Commodity Week with a review of the week's markets at 8:30 in the morning, all on WHOW, AM, FM, and streamed online.
News time 9 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Friday. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded 7 o'clock newscast brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, and brought to you by Connexus, providing fiber internet to Clinton. Learn more at DeWittDailyNews.com. The Clinton Community Education Foundation is trying out a new fundraiser later this month. The nonprofit arm of Clinton Schools is planning a trivia night fundraiser on July 19th at the Clinton Eagles. Chris Schaefer with the Clinton Community Education Foundation indicates they will have a 50-50 raffle and a silent auction.
But we thought this would be an interesting way to bring folks in together. The doors will open at 5:30 at the Clinton Eagles, July 19th, and trivia will start at 6. It's $100 for each table or team, and you can have up to 10 people per team. Apparently, you can buy mulligans for your trivia contest, which is a good deal. I think it helps you skip a question or something. And our first place team will win $200, and our second place team will win $100. The Eagles has graciously allowed us, people can bring in their own food and non-alcoholic drinks, but alcoholic beverages and food and other drinks will be available for purchase. We're going to have some other fundraisers kicked in. We'll have a 50-50 raffle and a silent auction for baskets that our educational liaisons have put together for us.
The trivia fundraiser helps the CCEF in its mission to invest back in the school system through financial support for teachers and students. Schaefer indicates this includes scholarships, teacher grants, and funding for dual credit courses.
Our mission is to get resources to the kids in Clinton District to enhance, enrich, or supplement their learning opportunities. And so we do a lot of cool things. We do classroom grants for teachers. This enables them to purchase materials that are outside outside their budget. So in 2025, we had 14 requests that we were able to fully fund. We provided over $22,000 for teacher materials that will provide some really cool learning experiences for kids in our school district. We have scholarships. A lot of them are endowed. Right now we have up to 10 and more scholarships are in the works, and they cover a variety of fields: business, traditional four-year college, teacher education, technical, vocational programs, STEM, home economics, music. So there's scholarships for almost any kind of person looking to further their education after high school. We do dual credit courses. So kids who are going to high school can get college credit for special courses that they do. And we help support advanced placement test fees in collaboration with the Right Stuff for Kids. And then our special projects, those are really fun. We sponsor right now 10 to 12 different programs that are annual in nature, and they help with arts and science, technology, academic enrichment.
Learn more about the July 19th Trivia Nights by visiting ccef15.org or find them on Facebook. The Illinois Department of Natural Resources has been highlighting a different state park over its social media platforms recently, and it recently highlighted what many consider a hidden gem in DeWitt County. On the WHOW Morning Show Thursday, Patty Kinder with the Weldon Springs Foundation told Regional Radio officials from DNR visited Weldon Springs to take pictures and perform interviews so nature lovers around the state could learn more about the beautiful DeWitt County Park.
Yeah, it was really exciting that they did our park. The state has been working on these spotlights in the park for probably about a year, and they finally got to our park.
Cool.
So they came out, two gentlemen, they did drone pictures, they did, still shots, they interviewed Charlie and I. It was a lot of fun, and it was really cool because I actually had my homeschooling group out. So they were able to see the homeschoolers and experience all of that, got that in a little bit of the video as well. We talked about the schoolhouse and nature center. We talked about what the park had to offer to everybody else, the boating, the concession stand being open, all of the trails that you can take, the fishing.
Roxanne Snelson is a naturalist for the Weldon Springs Foundation and explains a lot of work has been done over the years to restore and preserve the natural areas of the park, and she credits current site superintendent Charlie Montgomery for that effort.
I've lived here about 41 years, and over the years, of course, we've had different superintendents, but Charlie Montgomery, the first year he was superintendent out here, he took some of the prairie areas that were badly needed some restoration. And now we have wonderful native prairie flowers. The birds are back. So it's really wonderful to see that part of it, which is one of my favorite parts, is of course birds and the flowers.
Sure.
It's great to see the restoration of prairies.
When you come into the park, the schoolhouse is there. It's open. We have the nature center, and history is my favorite thing. It always has been. And to talk about the history, there's so much history of Clinton and DeWitt County, right here. It's worth coming out and seeing that. And I'm trying to do more with that. I'm trying to work more towards programs that'll take you into the history.
See the Weldon Springs State Park Spotlight by finding the Illinois Department of Natural Resources on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly Twitter. News time is 7:15 on this Friday. A generation of adults is always balancing caring for aging parents and the grind of working and raising its own family. Taylor Stevens at Synergy Home Care indicates that generation of people is referred to as the sandwich generation.
You have somebody who's taking care of their family, they have work, they have whatever obligations, and then underneath that, they have their parents, their aging parents that they're trying to care for. And in between those is them, the caretaker, and all the things, to where they're being smushed in what we call a sandwich. So now they're being pushed on both ends, and it's very hard for them to keep that candle lit, when you are just running, to where we can be that solution. We can take that away from you so you can focus on you can focus on your kids, your family, your work, and you can be that mom, you can be that daughter again, you can be the employee that everybody knows you are, by letting go of that and letting us take care of that. So whether that's the transportation side of it, Or maybe your mom, dad, loved one is in the hospital and you can't be there because you have other obligations that are going on. Our caregivers can go into the hospital and sit with them for peace of mind. They can write in that notebook as nurses are coming in and out, keeping you up to date. So then when you do come, you didn't miss anything and you know that your loved one has a friend there with them.
Stephen stresses Synergy Home Care's commitment to being there for the individual they're caring for, but also for the family of that person to make sure Synergy is available to them at any point of the day.
So I believe that we truly become an extension of family to where they can contact us 24/7. We understand that things don't just happen. Questions don't just come up 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, to where you can contact us at any point through the weekend, after hours, and ask those questions. You know, our caregivers are really close with us. That communication is so important to us, to where we're making sure on all ends that communication is key. Yeah, so we have a care service team that answers the phone 24/7. They're all members of management, so they can troubleshoot at any point. We've done assessments on the weekend or after hours, before hours, whatever it looks like. We can really customize that to where it works for the family as well. On top of that, our hours are 24/7. So, you know, we have caregivers that are working overnights, they're working weekends, we have 24/7 clients to where we're rotating them. We're really working around the clock all the time in all aspects.
According to Stevens, it's important for the caretaker of a person to be the same individual that person sees on the daily.
Sure. So we get that question a lot, and we do try to build a consistent team of caregivers, but we don't ever want just one caregiver, because eventually they're going to need a day off. They're going to get sick. Kids are going to get sick, whatever it may be. And we want to make sure that there's a caregiver that's able to fill in, that they're comfortable with each other. So when we build a consistent team, which is always the goal, you know, you have people that is willing to fill in.
Approximately 23% of U.S. adults are a part of the sandwich generation, defined as those with a parent age 65 or older and either raising a child under 18 or financially supporting an adult child. This translates to roughly 59 million Americans. Roughly 27% of adults in their 30s are a part of the sandwich generation, with 95% caring for a minor child and an aging parent. Additionally, 40 to 59-year-old adults are the most affected group, with 54% of adults in their 40s and 36% in their 50s having both a living parent, age 65 or older, and a dependent child, including a minor or adults, requiring financial support. News time is 19 minutes after 7 o'clock here on this Friday. Plenty more to get to as we wrap things up for the week on the morning show.
Experience the power of better connection with Connexus Fiber Internet. Connexus delivers ultra-fast, reliable speeds to keep you connected at the speed of life. Whether you're working from home, streaming your favorite shows, or gaming with your friends, Connexus has you covered. Say goodbye to buffering and dropped calls and say hello to fiber fast internet. Ready to upgrade your connection? Sign up today by clicking the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
Is the summer heat getting to you? This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City, inviting you to cool down in a new Chevy. We have cool new crossovers like the Chevy Equinox, or hot new trucks like the Chevy Silverado 1500, which has up to $7,500 in extra savings over our regular discounts. See all our inventory and prices online. And don't forget, we need and would love to trade yours in. Chevrolet, together let's drive. BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
News time is 20 minutes after 7 o'clock here on this Friday. Again, I'm Seth Lawrence with the folks today for this expanded local newscast. A former meteorologist who is in his second term in Congress is teaming up with a Texas Republican to address real weather coverage. Democratic Illinois Congressman Eric Sorensen recently introduced the Rural Weather Monitoring Systems Act. If approved, the bipartisan bill would strengthen weather radar coverage in rural and underserved areas. That could cover areas like parts of Texas where significant flooding has led to over 100 deaths.
I'm working with a Texas congressman, Nathaniel Moran. He is a Republican from Tyler, Texas. Actually, I used to do the weather in Tyler, Texas about 25 years ago. And so, I gotten to know him. He's a really good legislator. And so we to make sure that it isn't just people in the city that have the access to the sirens, that have access to the data. We have to make sure that farmers and small communities and small hometowns have the ability to take the data and make good decisions. And this right here, this bill that we had worked on before this tragedy happened, would help. Look, I think that what we need to do with weather tragedies like this is very similar to what we do in the aviation community, where if there is a plane crash, the NTSB goes out and looks at every piece of what happened. They analyze it. It may take some time to come back, but then we need to understand how that tragedy happened so it doesn't happen again. We have to change, we have to innovate, we have to analyze. That's what we need for weather disasters. And so that's something that not only it's just my idea, but that's meteorologists across the board in the National Weather Service. We need to go back and we need to look at where was the failure here without pointing fingers. That was the first thing that really kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. Even when people right at the beginning were blaming the president, and we don't know that. We don't know that cuts at the National Weather Service caused anybody to lose their life. We don't know. Actually, the National Weather Service office was fully staffed. So we shouldn't point fingers until we know. But that's my point. We need to make sure that there is a proper investigation, and then we go back to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
The legislation, if approved, would require the Government Accountability Office to evaluate the state of rural weather radar systems. From there, Sorensen says the legislation could lead to recommended actions to improve early detection of severe weather. Much is being made of Governor J.B. Pritzker's decision to run for re-election. Despite overall strong approval ratings, Governor Pritzker has faced criticism over his handling of fiscal matters such as the state budget he recently signed. This may affect his chances in 2026, and the decision to pursue re-election could have implications on his presidential aspirations. Dr. Kent Redfield is a professor emeritus of political science at the University of Illinois in Springfield. He says it is unusual to see a governor of Illinois pursue a third term.
We've only had one Illinois governor that has won a third term, and really only had 4 governors or sitting governors who tried to get a third term. And, all of them were defeated until Jim Thompson came on the scene. And, he had a 2-year term where we're transitioning to electing our governors in non-presidential elections. And then he won, 3 more terms. So he had 14 years as governor. And that's even nationally, that's unusual. His 14 years actually ranks him 16th among every governor that's ever served in the United States in terms of how long they were in office.
Dr. Redfield believes the incumbent governor has a good chance of winning re-election. He cites Governor Pritzker's approval ratings and cash to draw from for campaigning.
Well, if you just look at general favorability polls, and they do these, nationally, everyone, firms will go out and they'll do polls in individual states and stuff. And so, he's not right at the top in terms of favorable rankings, but he's comfortably, above 50%. And so he starts with that. The other thing is it's hard to overstate the advantage that he has from being a billionaire, because you can spend your own money without limit. We can have contribution limits on private groups giving or third-party giving, but if it's your money, the Supreme Court's been pretty clear that you can spend your own money.
Once the gubernatorial election is over, the time will come to think about his presidential aspirations, and the governor has been floated as a potential candidate. His name recognition and views on key national issues could work to his advantage on the campaign trail.
As a sitting governor, he would have a lot more national visibility and credibility. The issues that he's going to be running on, things that he touts when he talks about his record, protecting, reproductive health care, education funding, a strong defense of immigrants' rights. Those kinds of issues play well with the national audience. So, things that he's going to be working on in Illinois are things that, give him visibility nationally. And he's not running to run for president at this point. It really just, is, if that were, but it would still make sense if he were, because it keeps his options open.
Public opinion tracking cites race to the White House shows Governor Pritzker polling as high as 5% among other possible Democratic primary candidates. More information on UIS's political science program is available at uis.edu/SPIA. July is National Ice Cream Month. Monica Nyman with the St. Louis District Dairy Council says ice cream, when eaten in moderation, can provide beneficial nutrients and vitamins to your daily balanced diet.
So National Ice Cream Month, we've been celebrating since 1984, and we have President Ronald Reagan to thank for that. He not only enjoyed jelly beans, but also ice cream, and he signed the proclamation for National Ice Cream Month back again in 1984. So we've been celebrating for quite a while. And we also have a National Ice Cream Day, and that actually falls on Sunday, July 20th. It's always the third Sunday of the month. But when it comes to ice cream socials, they were actually introduced back in the 1700s. So quite a while ago. Both President Washington and President Jefferson are known to have enjoyed ice cream. And it wasn't until the mid-1800s, though, that ice cream became available to more people. And that's really because of advances in technology like refrigeration and freezing processes and equipment. And so around that time, the concept of ice cream socials began to take form. And historically, they have been kind of associated with different events that bring communities together, like maybe like a church organization.
Ice cream socials are always a popular way to bring people together. Nyman gives ideas of how to put one together from the comfort of your own home.
Initially, you would just want to kind of pick a fun theme. So you can even just search around your house for different inspiration or repurpose maybe some decorations that you've used in the past. Next, you want to plan your menu. So we always recommend a couple different ice cream flavors along with lots of different toppings. And honestly, the ice cream toppings these days are really endless. So you can do tried and true combinations like chocolate or caramel or strawberry syrups. You can serve nuts or fresh fruit. Crumbled cookies are always a really popular item for ice cream socials. Whipped cream, but some people like to be a little bit more adventurous. So a couple of ideas are to ground espresso beans. So you can sprinkle those, kind of make a coffee, maybe put some caramel sauce on top of that, or even bacon crumbles with maple syrup, because it kind of combines that salty and sweet taste for that. So you can also incorporate ice cream into pies and cakes or cookie sandwiches. Just make sure you have bowls or cones, utensils, ice cream scoops, all that kind of stuff to go along with your ice cream social. You can pick a serving area. So if you're doing it at home, just on the kitchen countertop, you can decorate that up with some tablecloths. And
learn more at stldairycouncil.org. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
SRN News, I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. A major reorganization plan is underway at the State Department with the layoffs of over 13